This is going to be a process. Okay. And so let's just make a commitment that 12 months from now, we want a full pipeline. We want predictable, stable income. We want that confidence that comes with being that top producer, closing all that deals. We want to build the business we set out to create, right? And we want to make those changes so that we're not confused, we're not inconsistent, it's not the same anxiety. We don't want to wonder why it's not working for us. So over the next few minutes, we're just going to be really quick, and we're just going to change the mindset again around prospecting and finding opportunities. Because this is what, frankly, where a lot of agents immediately get stalled because they didn't get in real estate to sell. I got a real estate license to do deals. I need to sell? I thought I was just doing deals. No, you got to find your stuff. But we're not going to be prospecting because sales freaks people out. We're going to be finding opportunities, right? How much different, how much better is it if we're ever pursuing an activity, finding reward versus carrying out an obligation? Hey, Brian, go hike up and down that mountain because I told you to, versus, hey, Brian, there is some sick pow all the way at the top. By the way, there's a whole pot of gold. If you find it, come on back and tell me all about it. I'll let you keep it. I just want to hear the story, right? That's how we're doing it. So we got to change our mindset a bit, right? We got to shift from prospecting into finding opportunities, right? Prospecting is work. Finding opportunities is building. And if I'm an entrepreneur, I want to build. I don't want to work. I want to build my business. I don't want to work in my business. I want to build it. So we're no longer going to be prospecting, cold calling. We're not thinking about cold calling strangers, right? We're going to be thinking about meeting interesting people. Doesn't everyone have their own story to tell? As crazy as it may be. And I can say that because I know all of you. Trust me, there are really interesting people, all y'all out there, right? So as interesting as your story is, I promise you everyone else has equally same interesting a story. We just got to hear it. Looking at you, Brian, right? Instead of seeking for leads and, awkward silence and rejection, we're just looking to solve as many problems as possible. I'm going to pick on you 1 second, Jen. Didn't we shift this in your mindset a few weeks ago, and hasn't it helped? I believe, right? We're not just trying to help one person solve a problem every day.
Yes.
Has it been working?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So instead of, this goes back to cold calling. Instead of grinding through a list where it's okay, these are the 20 people I need to call today. It should be, okay, I wonder who's going to give me my next deal. It's that treasure hunt. We got to find reward instead of avoid pain. Doing work is a version of pain. Treasure hunts are finding a reward. If we're having genuine conversations, building genuine connections, we're never begging for people to work with us. In fact, they're going to call and say, hey, Jared, I need some help, right? We don't need proof. It doesn't matter that you're not where you want to be or you're not making it yet. I don't know what making it even means anymore. It doesn't matter, right? What people care about is that you're investing in your craft. And Noah is proving this. Noah and Cooper are proving this because just by showing homes and getting on video and doing other things, right? They're building followings and building rapport with thousands of people. They don't know whether Noah's closing deals or not. They don't care. They just know Noah's doing the work. And isn't that proof that he's investing? He's going to get leads from that. It's the same activity, but with different framing, we get totally different energy and results. I love this. Jen, Sky is now responsible for one business win every single day. So you get to make the contacts, but Sky now is documented on video, having responsibility for your business every single day. Put Sky to work. Here's what we need to do. We're going to commit to 10 to 20 contacts a day. And that's conversation. We don't need to prospect. If you're not comfortable asking your friends and family for business yet, then don't. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams, that is how normal people converse and the topics they talk about. If you just do that 10 times a day, eventually you'll find business, I promise. So the book that I'm going to refer you guys to here is called Fanatical Prospecting. Taken a lot from here. What counts? Conversations at coffee shops. Door knocking with open house invites, calling and checking on past clients, LinkedIn messaging back and forth. You need responses, conversations with people who know people, reaching out to people you've been talking to in a while. Hey, when can we get on a phone? These all count. I'm going to take commenting on someone's social media post off unless you're that doesn't count. It's engagement. That's not a contact. We got to do more than that. So just start trying to find these new opportunities. So I think one of the bigger things agents say is Jared, I don't know enough people to make 20 contacts a day. Well, number one, you have to leave your house typically in order to do that. If you don't already know those people, you need to go meet people to then whatever, but you meet people with a conversation before you sell them something. So let's just go have more public conversations, and then eventually build relationships and we'll have something to sell. I'm not saying go to the coffee shop and shove your card into someone's face, but hey, great, damn glad to meet you. I'm a real estate agent. If you ever know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, give me a call. Nate the Great. That's not what I'm saying. Maybe you do. That'd be cool. But like, I think you just have a normal conversation. You bring them in your database, and then you add them, and then we just build a relationship. Isn't that how it works? We don't need to force business on it. So at some point, you're going to catch some slack here. And I already know that because I've been through it so many times. It's about an annual process for me, by the way. I'll admit this. It happens typically end of January, beginning of February, when the depths of the market, when we're at kind of our slowest. You kind of got through that end of year pop and you haven't quite gotten spring. So it's always like, kind of the depths of February for me, or when they hit, right? There are two tools really quick that I want everyone to think about. So if you ever feel down, and I just went through this, so I can speak from personal experience in the last 2 or 3 weeks, this is what we're going to do. Our first tool is we're going to create a success file. We're going to build the undeniable stack of proof that we can do this business, right? So whenever you get positive client texts or emails, whenever you get great feedback on some showings or things that you do, maybe it's a review. Whenever you get a great email from a professional client, like, hey, it was so great to meet you, we look forward to whatever, we're just going to save all this. Let's make journals of these things. Let's just, it's not like when we're depressed, it's easy to remember all those great things that we did over the last year. So we need to make an active effort to do that, right? I would tell you that if you don't feel the confidence that you feel like you can handle everything that's thrown at you, you should do this right now and spend some actual time going through and building the undeniable stack of proof, so that if you ever feel down or ever feel unmotivated, you open up that thing, whatever it's folder, a journal, whatever, and you just have dozens of examples. And if you don't have them in real estate right now, find them from your past life. Because if our past life didn't give us the tools that we need, if what was our past life, it did not, if it didn't but give us the tools to prepare us for what we're currently about to do. And let's be consistent about it. It should be all the time, but especially open it when you're feeling low. What got me through was going through our directory page and seeing all your faces and seeing that, yeah, maybe we're not in, a national real estate brokerage yet. And we've got a couple dozen awesome fucking people that are partnering with us. That's sweet. It was that simple. Now we're back in the game. So let's talk about tool number 2, right? The daily most important things. This is the thing, right? We're going to talk about goal setting and wildly important goal and like that one thing. Okay. Steve Jobs talked about this, and I'm not sure if I have. Okay, we're almost there at the end, I promise. But Steve Jobs, we're going to go a little bit over. I apologize if you guys need to go. Cool. We're going to get this recorded and posted in the next day or two. But Steve Jobs had this concept of signal to noise. Have you guys ever heard about this? The Jobs to noise thing? Really interesting. Really interesting. So Steve Jobs basically had this concept of signal versus noise. Okay. Signal are the 1, 2, 3 things that actually move the needle every single day. Noise is everything else. So if you had to pick, let's say no more than 2 things that you're going to do or have to do that day, it could shift, but your signal is every day, like you're going to put maximum effort into up to 3 things and like really devote time, attention, and energy to like 3 things. It's not like doing more than that's tough to like really, focus. So he would call it a good day if he was spending 25% of his day on signal, i.e. if out of all the hours that Steve Jobs worked, 25% of his day was specifically focused on the top 1 or 2 things that he had to do in order to move Apple going forward, right? Now, if ever he spent time in 10% or 0% signal days, that means he failed. So his whole thing was minimizing the noise, the stuff that didn't matter, for the signal, the things that did. So for us, as real estate agents, that comes down to opportunities. We have to be finding opportunities every single day. I don't care. The number doesn't matter. It could be 1 opportunity a day. It could be 10 opportunities to connect. It could be 3 new people I want to add to my database. Either way, it has to be every single day. We have to wake up and do it every single day. We have to get 1 piece or 1 win every single day. And that could be a lead, right? It could be an opportunity. It could be something to diligence. It just something for us to win. Find a win every day. The easiest win, if you find 10 contacts, the easiest win for you is going to be what I would call a nurture, which is someone that you've heard of, refer, or talk to, or whatever, who's going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 12 months. And by definition, I believe that if you actively prospect and have the right conversations and you talk to 10 people a day, you will find one of those a day. It will even out, or maybe it's like 20 and 2, but statistics give me 10 great conversations a day will lead to one nurture a day, statistically. How are you going to build more relationships if you're not adding people to your database? Just add one person a day. We got to talk to 10 people a day. If we're talking to 10 people a day, might one of them just be a new person we're going to add to our database? That coffee shop dude that we talked to, that neighbor that we invited to the open house, all counts. Just one person a day. If you're at, think about it this way. If you're at 100 people right now in your database, and there are 252 business days a year, which is less than what most real estate brokers or full-time actually work. Let's just say 252 business days a year. If you added one person per business day and you started with 100, wouldn't you end up at 352 at the end of the year? So we talked about being 40x ahead if we're 1% better every single day. If you just add 1% person to your database every day, you have quadrupled your database from 100 to 350 after a year. Isn't that triple the business over the next 12 months for you? Quadruple the business over the next 12 months for you? One person a day. Complete your time blocking 8% of the time, which means we got to just be hitting singles all the time. And by the way, I think this is a great thing that people don't talk about. Prepare a list of what you got to do today before you go to bed. Write it down. It could be typed out, it could be in a journal, it could be whatever, but just expunge that from your brain before you sign off. So that way your mind doesn't think about it. When you recharge, you actually rest, and then you get back to it the next morning, more recharged, more rested. The more you write down, the less your brain thinks, because your brain doesn't need to worry about it anymore. So here's what we're going to do over the next week. We're going to create that success file. So we're going to jump in and we're going to find 10 wins that we can write down right now and create that reference for ourselves. So when we're running up against issues, when we're not getting what we need, maybe we're not having the success, maybe we're feeling a little bit down about where we're at, doesn't matter. We got to find those wins. We got to get ourselves pumped back up. We cannot be down for extended periods of time. Our business will suffer from that. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with our daily MIT list, our daily most important task list, our daily signal list. What are the 3 things that we need to do every single day in order to move our business forward? And let's get really good at those 3 things. Then we're going to pick your opportunity number. How many conversations, how many opportunities to talk to people do you need to find every single day? We'll go through in our goal setting sessions how to figure that out. But for right now, commit to something. And if we need to adjust later, great. The first step is always the hardest. So just get in a routine. We can always adjust that routine later. And I already threw this out there. I would say read the entire book. But Fanatical Prospecting is a genius book, piece of sales writing. If you've never read Jeb Blount, he's spectacular. Without this book, we're not having this conversation. So, Fanatical Prospecting. So just to give you a quick map of where these things are going to go over the next year. So these 2 sessions are going to be about mindset and foundation. We're then going to be going through goals, finances, and budgeting. So probably about a month or 2, month and a half, we really get into business and prospecting and all that stuff. We're going to spend about the first month with foundational type things, just making sure we got everything honed in, ready to go. Okay. We'll get into some of our lead gen stuff in about 4 or 5 weeks, at which point we're going to go through the whole thing. So lead gen, marketing and branding, working with buyers and sellers, specific things with contracts and compliance that we need to keep in mind, negotiating, lending, and talking about some tech, skilling, and legacy in a bit. We'll be kind of thing along with our marketing sessions on Fridays. So if we do stuff on a Tuesday, we'll also typically have an activity for Fridays. And I'll do my best to make sure this also coincides with our monthly AI training as well. So if you guys have any questions, these videos will be posted in their entirety on Sterling. These will no longer be accessible via YouTube. We're going to be chopping them up. So you can only get full versions via Sterling going forward, which is pretty sick. So and that's pretty much it. So thank you all for joining our first session. Before we break, any comments, things we want to talk about? This one might have been a little bit long. That's good feedback for me, but we'll make sure we shorten it up and get them closer to 45 minutes for you.
I love the structure, Jared. This is awesome. It's a great thing. It's going to be
big. Good.
Even
Well-
though I can't be here live, I'm excited to be able to at least see the videos and see how this goes. It looks exciting.
I have a little Genwick spirit animal, like right here next to my camera. So just know that you're always in our thoughts, Jen, even when you're not here. And I appreciate that, guys. So next week we're going to do session 2 around mindset foundation. Let's really focus on those things this week. Additionally, the only thing I'll encourage you guys to do is if you log into Sterling, under coaching resources, you're going to see some additional modules now, including an activity journal. We can start to track our numbers and stuff like that. Noah and Cooper have committed to me that they're going to be using the system to start tracking their numbers a little bit better. I would also ask that everyone on this call who's joining in with us as well also starts tracking their numbers with respect to, this type of stuff. So we can review it on Friday in terms of how to enter that information. If you log in, hopefully it should be pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go through some of those additional modules on Friday and some of those resources so that as you are growing, you just can access data. Sterling will be there to kind of support you. Cool. Great, guys. Well, appreciate you very much. Have a great Tuesday. And
Jared, can I steal 2 minutes from you real quick?
Can you call me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.